Hey guys, a very good morning and welcome to a new daily market outlook. Fabio here, and I am very glad to tell you guys that the dollar index has been moving pretty much to perfection. So let's see what is going on for the rest of the day. So of course, to begin with the dollar index, and the dollar index has been playing out beautifully because as we can see, yesterday we did indeed, as anticipated, form that upper wick and then saw that bearish candle form. So with that said, what we can now see is that if you dive in towards the lower time frame, and let me view it from the 4-hour indeed, what we can now see is that as anticipated, we took out that second low, which caused channel maturement. Because if we zoom in, we can see that we exactly saw a fake out on that second low, and after that, or shortly after that, started reversing back up in towards the highs. So really happy with what we saw. A lot of people were stressed out because of the bullish pump that we were seeing yesterday morning, but I wasn't too stressed about it because as we can see, it was just channel maturement essentially with the 1, the 2, and then the third high. After that, we started dumping back down in towards the lows. So what am I expecting for the rest of today? Well, as we can see, we of course have had that channel maturement, which means that we can still start pushing up into towards the highs. The only kind of problem that I am having with a further push in towards the highs is the fact that we haven't touched in towards that area of demand. So we are still reacting to essentially nothing. If we look over here to the left, we just have a clean candle. And in my opinion, those reversals are just far lower probability reversals. So what I'm essentially looking at is that this could just be a fib setup, and we could still see another push back down in towards the lows. So what I'm currently looking at is of course a channel maturement. So the 1, the 2, the 3, then retracement back up in towards the highs, back towards an imbalanced candle, which we have over here, 618, maybe see a retest of the trend line to then see one more push back down in towards the lows. So important is to realize that this does not need to happen because essentially we have already seen channel maturement. However, like I said, the probability of us reversing in towards the highs from this level, or essentially no demand whatsoever, is just very low. So therefore, I would like to see price come down still one more time. But essentially, if you are already trading euro dollar, Aussie dollar, pound dollar, it shouldn't be too much of a problem because you do have that dollar index confluence after seeing channel maturement. So with that said, I am expecting more upside essentially on the dollar index for now, but we have to be cautious because we could still see that dump one more time in towards that area of demand. One more dump in towards that area of demand would mean that we potentially would see a new channel form, which would look something like this wedge over here, potentially something like this, some sort of a descending wedge. Not the most beautiful wedge, but it could potentially turn out to be a very nice wedge if we do see that one more dump back down in towards that area of demand. So yeah, with that said, just keeping my eyes out on both trade opportunities. I'll personally just be engaging with those dollar pairs if we start breaking above this area of resistance, which is of course the lower high, which would once broken become the previous high, and this would then become the higher low. This would become the higher high, and then we would have a confirmed trend switch, which would enhance the probability of my dollar trade setups far more. So I'm just going to play it on the safe because the dollar index isn't really moving exactly how I want. So in this particular situation, I'm just going to play it safe, wait for the dollar to break out before taking any trades, because in my opinion, we could still see one more push back down in towards, 92.775. So yeah, with that said, let's head over to Aussie dollar. And Aussie dollar, so Aussie dollar is currently reacting to this drop zone over here. As we can see, we just moved above it. Wasn't really that strange because what we did was we took out this high over here, then going in towards the 1-hour time frame, what we can see is that we weren't forming anything, right? So at the moment we are potentially forming some sort of a channel or wedge. Some people might have drawn it on like this, or had it drawn on like this, and they were looking for shorts over here. But personally, I didn't look for any shorts over here because the dollar index was not ready yet for me personally. So a lot of people I know did get stopped out on this setup because they were a little bit impatient and didn't wait for the dollar index. So this is kind of what you see when you trade with less confluences And that's why I'm personally also just going to be waiting with the dollar index at the moment, because the dollar index confluence is just not fully there for me personally. Until we break out, create a new higher high, I will be waiting with these kind of setups. But maybe what I'll be waiting for is, let's say we break out of this ascending structure, break, let's say, this low, then start retracing in towards the highs. Then I will be looking for those shorts. But for the time being, I'm just going to stay on the sidelines and play it safe. So what I would love to see is one more push up on Aussie dollar, let's say something like this, and then dump, because that kind of channel or wedge would be a lot more beautiful than what we are currently seeing. Because at the moment we are kind of reacting to this channel maturement which we had over here, but still these are just a little bit lower probability to see a full-blown reversal from. What you want to see is kind of like that bigger kind of structure as we are potentially forming over here. So if we do dump, what I'll be looking for is just a setup like this. If we do start moving up higher, I will be looking for a setup from up above, over here. This over here is your area of supply to then go short. So that is that for Aussie dollar. Let's head over to pound dollar, or euro dollar, So euro dollar, patience pays. As we can see, euro dollar has moved up in towards the highs, in towards my level. In the Discord community, I did mention one point, I think it was 777, or what was it, 7702, 7702 or 1.177 was the level that I called. So as we can see, we hit that level pretty much to perfection. After that, have been reversing back down in towards the downside. Sadly, no entry possibility for me, so I have quite a complex plan, and if the setup doesn't meet my expectations or what I want to see at that specific price level, I simply do not enter. I'm a robot, I'm a machine. If a setup does not give me what I want, I'm just not going to enter. Even though the setup overall is looking very good and I am expecting potentially more downside from here, I am not entering this setup because it does not meet my trading plan. And that is the most important thing in trading. You just always have to stick to your trading plan, do exactly what you do in your back tests, and then you will be profitable on the long term. So with that said, euro dollar at the moment, I am expecting some more downside for now, but we're just gonna have to wait and see how we react to this level. What I am expecting, or we could potentially still see, is that this is just your first impulse, this is your correction, and this is just the next wave up. That is a possibility, but I'm just gonna want to see what the dollar index is going to be doing. I am only going to engage with a euro dollar short until, or once, we break this area over here and create a new lower low. So that is euro dollar for me. I do see it dropping from here, but just no entry for me personally. So with that said, let's head over to pound dollar. And pound dollar, so this is why we are patient, guys. Remember, a lot of people shorting from the 618 Fibonacci level, and this is why I am very profitable in my opinion. I just wait for exactly the right moment. I just want to see, or I wait for what I exactly want to see. I don't rush into any trades at all. We just wait until the trade meets our plan. So in this particular situation, as we can see, a lot of people were going short in this box of consolidation due to the 618 and this area of support and resistance. But as we know, liquidity was still situated above the highs. Now we have taken out those highs, have moved in towards the highs, and now we are reacting to this area of supply. So it is beautiful to see. At the moment, no entry yet for me. I will keep you guys informed. What I am looking for is some sort of a channel or wedge in towards the highs. Something like this would do to then look for a potential short back down in towards lows. Same as for euro dollar, I will only be looking for a short if we break structure. But daily structure is still bullish. So let's see how we react once we come back in towards this level, because essentially what we have over here is a rally, a base, a rally zone. So I'm very curious to see how price reacts once we come in towards this level. And that's why I'm just going to be waiting for us to at least break this area of support before looking for any potential shorts. So with that said, let's head over to our last pair, which is Kiwi dollar. And Kiwi dollar, as we can see, guys, this is as well why we don't go short. We had the descending market structure, right? So descending price action, and as we can see, broke up in towards the highs perfectly. So going in towards the lower time frame, we had quite a nice setup over here. This little fib setup, essentially 786 or 0.88 also got hit. So essentially what we have over here, of course, is our first wave up. then retracement, second wave up, retracement, third wave up, retracement, now correction, potentially back down in towards the lows. So yeah, beautiful to see that we found resistance at the -1618 fib extension level of that first wave. So beautiful to see that we are now reversing. No real shorts on the board for me due to the market structure being very dirty. But what I am looking for is potentially a higher time frame setup. So going in towards the 1 hour, I would potentially be looking for something like this. So kind of the same as an Aussie dollar, still need one more push up to then look for a potential short. Hopefully also a spike in towards 0.70109. So yeah, that is that, guys, for today. Gold will be discussed on Discord. Thank you so much for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant day, and I will speak to you guys very soon. Thanks, guys.